Maybe we're breathing, thinking, and watching this video right now because an asteroid once hit Earth. About 66 million years ago, a giant asteroid around 10 kilometers wide, roughly the height of Mount Everest, came racing toward Earth at about 70,000 kilometers per hour. Its target, the Yucatan Peninsula in what is now Mexico. When it hit in our timeline, the energy was billions of times stronger than the Hiroshima bomb. Dust and soot blasted into the air and blocked sunlight. A long, bitter winter followed. About 75% of life on Earth disappeared. The dinosaur age, 150 million years of it, ended. But imagine this. The asteroid is off by just a little. It grazes past Earth and flies on. If dinosaurs hadn't gone extinct, who would rule the planet today? That one near miss would have pushed history onto a completely different path. The next day after the non-impact, dinosaurs go on with their lives, unaware of their close call. Herds of horned dinosaurs and duck-billed giants move across the grasslands of what we call the Hell Creek region in North America. Along the edges of the Gobi Desert, feathered hunters sprint over the dunes. In Patagonia, long-necked titans drift like moving hills through the forest. Life continues, loud, huge, and wild. But the world is still changing. In India, the Deccan traps are pouring out lava and gas. The climate slowly cools. Big bodies are expensive to keep warm, so the largest giants begin to fade. The winners are the flexible ones, species that can handle cold, seasons, and new plants. As the air gets colder and seasons swing harder, insulation spreads. More feathers, thicker coats. Picture this. Heavy, shaggy herbivores in snowy valleys. Mountain hunters with pale, downy coats that blur into ice and fog. High-altitude lineages with stronger lungs and fast, warm blood. Not just scaly reptiles anymore, whole families of feathered and furry dinosaurs tuned for winter. Just imagine a descendant of Tyrannosaurus, covered in a thick, shaggy coat like a mammoth, prowling through a snow-covered forest. So what about mammals? They already existed back then, but they were small, mouse-sized hiders of the night. In our real timeline, after the impact, mammals took over the empty roles. They got larger, smarter, and more varied. In the near-miss timeline, dinosaurs keep those roles. Mammals stay small and mostly nocturnal for a long time. Growing big, climbing high, or spreading over water happens much more slowly. The primate line that would lead to us, Homo sapiens, appears much later, or takes a very different route, or maybe never arrives. Does that mean there's no intelligent life? Not necessarily. Meet Troodon. Among dinosaurs, it had one of the largest brains for its body size. It likely saw in 3D with big forward-facing eyes. Its hands could grip. It had the perfect toolkit to evolve toward intelligence. Think clever like a crow or an ostrich, but with teeth and claws. If a lineage like Troodon had another 66 million years, what could it become? Over the first million years, small hunters start working in teams. Some individuals watch the edges. Others drive prey forward. A few wait in ambush. Cooperation pays off, and young ones copy what works. Memory and learning grow. A few million years more, and the nests change. They don't use random stuff anymore. They choose shining shells, bright seeds, and smooth stones arranged in patterns. It's display, it's taste, it's culture. The same shapes show up in the same places year after year. Knowledge is being passed on. 10 million years in, the hands get better at holding things. Not human hands, but good enough to press, wedge, and twist. Along riverbanks, flat workstones appear, places used again and again to crack shells or bones. Tools aren't personal yet, they're shared spots. That's still technology. Now imagine vast breeding grounds, like cities made of sound. At dusk, thousands of feathered dinosaurs call across the flats in deep, rolling notes that carry for kilometers. Warnings, greetings, and signals to move. When danger shows up, a wave starts at the edge and ripples inward. Order from noise, a living network. In the sea, because there was no global blackout, plankton never collapses. Food chains stay steadier. Sharks dominate some coasts. Marine reptiles keep control in others. Early whale-like mammals fight for space in colder currents. Near shore, pack hunters drive fish into shallow traps of sand and stone. The bones pile up in one direction, signs of repeated strategy. On land, flowering plants continue to diversify. Herds carry seeds far and wide. Along rivers, fruit forests stretch like green hallways. Horned and duck-billed dinosaurs take on the role elephants and bison play today. Opening paths, spreading nutrients, shaping the map. More habitats mean more puzzles to solve. Puzzles grow brains. Technology takes a different path here. With clumsy fingers, fire is a long way off. Instead, they shape the environment first. They use wind to push insects. They stack stones seasonally to bend fish runs. They line breeding grounds with sound-absorbing feathers to keep the colony quiet and safe. Less about big buildings, more about tuning routes, signals, and light. It's low energy, high effect, perfect for a world still full of giants. Ice ages test everywhere. Northern groups move south, southern groups climb into mountains. Survival depends on maps in the mind, a certain valley, a certain wind path, a certain shallow crossing remembered for generations. Those memories become signs, feather markers tied to branches, neat piles of stones pointing the way, rhythmic calls that function like place names. The map lives in the landscape. And then one season, a simple breakthrough, a three-part tool, a stiff twig, a loop of vine, a sharp splinter of bone, together making a little grabber. Food comes out of holes twice as fast. Young ones practice it like a game. The game becomes a lesson. Lessons become tradition. Tradition accelerates change. Meanwhile, cities, if we can call them that, don't look like ours. Farming doesn't start with open fields and fences. You can't fence out a migrating herd that weighs as much as trucks. So they build buffers and corridors, wide living borders to guide the giants around orchards and nesting grounds. Public safety isn't about crime statistics. It's about keeping hungry predators from following smells and lights into sleeping areas. Rivers and lakes run on schedules that dodge the routes of huge crocodiles and half-aquatic hunters. Night voyages, seasonal ferries, quiet canals. Would such a world ever make computers, engines, or rockets? Maybe not in the same way, but it would still be intelligent, just tuned to the wild. The core tools would be cooperation, memory, pattern, and careful changes to the environment. Less spark, more rhythm. Less concrete, more design baked into wind, water, and sound. All of it begins with a small change in the sky above the Yucatan. The asteroid misses, and Earth stays wilder for longer. Horned herds throw dust on the plains. A white hunter melts into snowfall. Under the moon, nesting grounds hum like a heartbeat. River stones shine from years of use. Feather markers sway in the night breeze. In this version of Earth, the defining concepts are feathers, teamwork, memory, and tools you can share. Not a fast flash of fire, but slow patterns that last. A different road to thinking, and a different kind of world completing itself, step by step.